The cherub with the flaming sword represents the intense panic you feel when you try to let go of the ego and go deeper within yourself. It's like facing a huge wall of fear, as if the last place you'd ever want to go is behind that wall. It can feel terrifying, like staring into an endless abyss. That's the cherub guarding the way back. But if you face that fear and go through it, you find liberation. You free yourself when you stop holding on to that mask you've built for yourself, when you're finally able to drop it and walk through the fire. What does it mean to drop the mask? It means being okay with who you truly are, imperfections and all. Maybe it's accepting that you don't look perfect, or that you're aging, or that you have flaws you've tried to cover up. Letting go of that mask, especially if you've worn it all your life, feels intense. It's like walking through that flaming sword. It's the most difficult thing to do. But on the other side, beyond the ego, is peace and love. Once you make it through, you're no longer trying to protect the ego. You're no longer chasing after approval or worrying about judgment. You're filled with love, joy, and a deep understanding of others. This understanding is compassion. It's knowing what it took to break free from the ego and realizing that many others are still stuck there, struggling. You don't judge them because you know how hard it is. You understand their suffering and you feel compassion instead of anger or judgment. It's like Christ's teachings. Judge not, that you shall not be judged, and let he who is without sin cast the first stone. He was teaching us not to judge, to understand the depth of compassion. So when you look at others, don't judge them for being stuck in their own ego. Just like you wouldn't yell at a baby for messing its diaper. Don't get mad at someone who's lost in their ego. That's the depth of Christ's message. It's about seeing through the ego and finding love and compassion for everyone. So, do you see now why things are the way they are, especially inside yourself? Think about how much you try to keep your sense of self or ego together. When something doesn't fit with how you see yourself, doesn't it make you feel uneasy, even panicked? That feeling can get pretty intense. But here's the thing, you are not your ego. It's just something you're observing, even though it feels incredibly powerful. And that power comes from the fear of not knowing who you are without it. Here's a comparison. Imagine you're driving home from work or school and everything seems normal. You pull into your street, park and get out, but suddenly your house isn't there. Not only is your house gone, but it's like it was never there. The whole space is empty. Panicked, you go to a neighbor for answers and they don't recognize you. Now, how would you feel? That's the level of panic we feel when something challenges our self-image. We want things to fit our sense of reality, and when they don't, we become uncomfortable and even fearful.